Hi and welcome to my channel. My name is Memo and I mainly draw things for a living. The Artist Starter Plan is a calendar I created to help you start learning how to draw if you're a complete beginner or get back into drawing if you haven't done it for a while. The plan goes from drawing simple lines and shapes in the first week, moving on to portrait, gesture, clothing and full characters by the end of the 31 days. I recorded this as a series of live streams on Instagram, so unfortunately the format is portrait and there's some level of chit-chat throughout the videos. I hope you can still enjoy it, download the calendar for free and start your own practice. It doesn't need to be the first day of the month to start, just pick day one and build up from there. Let's get started! Welcome! I hope you had a good Saturday, whether it's morning and your Saturday is just starting or it's evening, like it is for me, and your Saturday is winding down, or maybe just starting. Maybe you're a night owl and you're gonna go out and have lots of fun. Not me. So I'm going to start turning my camera and showing you guys how I approach drawing mouths. And yeah, if you have any questions, art related or life related, please do ask them in the comments. I will keep reading them. Thank you. So today is day 13, but actually it's day 12. But you know, we will catch up on Sunday, so instead of Sunday being a rest day, it will be a normal day. Okay, so mouths. As I did before with the eyes and the nose, I will give you like basically some, labyrinthitis, that's the thing. But yeah, I will give you some basic sort of like tips of how I approach drawing mouths, especially starting from a basic shape. So if you have, like, this is the space underneath the face where you draw your mouth, and you imagine it as a rectangle, then inside you can put like 2 little dots at the ends of the rectangle. Thank you. And that will be the corner of your mouth. And then you can do like a line, and either it can be, it can be any sort of line. Again, if you want, you can just do it like this, it's fine. And then on top, you'll do a round line on top and a round line at the bottom. And that's just very, very, very basic for the mouth. Now, a few things about this very basic process, which is to imagine a rectangle and then draw kind of like a football, like American football ball inside it. If we design real quick a basic face, so again, always our very basic face with our nose and eyes, which we have now done many, many times. The mouth goes right under the nose, right? And there are some methods, like the Loomis method, that will tell you that the mouth needs to be as large as the middle of the eye. So basically, like, this should be the space of the mouth, which of course it's ridiculous because that's just too large. And that's because when you draw in a cartoony style, your eyes are usually like much larger and much farther apart than in real life. So I don't think this works at all. So what I do usually is that I keep the inner part of the eye as my, as the space for the rectangle, basically, where to put the mouth. And I think this works a little bit better because, again, otherwise it would be like a huge mouth. It would be like freakishly big. So if you imagine that area for the mouth, then let's change the color. Then your mouth will go here. And again, you do the 2 sides, which are the corners of the mouth. Then in the middle, you do a line. It can be lower line. It can be like an upper line. It can be like a broken line, like this. And then on top, you'll do the top of the mouth and then the line underneath. And that's it. That's how I draw a mouth. So sometimes I will close the sides of the mouth, especially if I'm drawing cartoony style where I will keep the line art underneath. Otherwise, one thing that I have been doing recently is that I don't close the sides of the mouth, and I just kind of leave, just kind of leave it open, especially if you have like a slightly more painterly vibe, slightly more realistic. I feel like this works better because it's not as fixed and stiff as a mouth that is completely closed, basically. And this is my favorite type of mouth, so like the kind of full oh, thank you Misha, the kind of full like American football kind of mouth is my favorite. But there are many other types of mouth that you can draw. For example, so let's put it here for now. You can do the sorry. So you can do the broken mouth like this, where you have like a little heart shape, and then the line underneath. You can have like a much bigger upper lip and a smaller lip than underneath. You can have one thing that I really like is that and again, I always do the two corners first. One thing I like is to kind of open. Oh, the Cupid's bow, is that what it's called? To be honest, I don't really like it that much. I feel like it's I don't know. I feel like mouths with the top here are a little bit more, I guess, more sexy, a bit more like sexy and cute at the same time. It's kind of like the bee sting kind of lip, I think. And I like to kind of do this thing where you open the central parting and underneath as well. So you kind of draw like a little rhomboid in the middle, like a little kite. And then on top and bottom is the same thing that you did before. And this kind of leaves like a little oh kind of sound. And I feel like this looks kind of, I don't know, a little bit provocative, a little bit sexy. I feel like it works. And yeah, those are my favorite mouths, to be honest. You can, of course, like if you draw your the corner of the mouth higher up, so like you put them higher up, then that will make your mouth like open more and kind of go for a smile. And then you can open the mouth underneath and then draw here. There you go. So basically where you put your the mouth's corner is where, it's where your mouth is gonna end up and the expression, that you're gonna have. What would you suggest to draw a mouth with very thin lips? That's interesting. Like, are the lips thin because they... like what I mean is like it's is it like a female mouth or like a feminine mouth, or are the lips thin because it's a man that you're trying to draw? Because I have two different answers for that. But yeah, like if you draw the corner of the mouth down and then you put the arches up like this, and then there you go, you have changed your mouth's expression. So yeah, basically the thing there would be to change the mouth when, like, change the corner, like the height of the corner of the mouth, so that you can change expression for the mouth. Hi, do I speak French? No, I can understand French a little bit, especially if I spend a bit of time in France, because I studied it as a child, but I do not speak it, especially because after learning English as my second language, whenever I try and speak another language that is not Italian, I speak in English. And yeah, so I don't really speak French, but I can read it. I've read a couple of books in French. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, I'm going to render a mouth. So, okay, here we have, like, I'm gonna do like a little side, like little smirk. Think like the culinary critic you would do, for example, okay? Okay, so I'll do that first. So to draw mouths that are like a little bit more caricatured or like funnier, I would focus on the expression. And also, I mean, to draw very thin mouths, I would, so example in mind, okay. Like, I would just follow the same, you know, the same exact, like, steps that I said before, but basically just draw the arches like a little bit closer to the central line. So in this case, there's, you know, this little smirk and the lips are much thinner. So if I render this, I'm going to quickly, I'm going to quickly just render this mouth so that I can give you guys an idea of how I do this. There you go. Throw. Also, I'm sorry for like I tend to do like sound effects now whenever I do anything, and that is my daughter's fault. So like, because my daughter is almost 1 year old, I have this tendency now to basically sonorize everything that I do, which is kind of weird, but like also it kind of works for her, because it makes things like more interesting and funnier, I think. So yeah, sorry, I just need to do this. Like, I need to put some blush on everything, and then, so if this is the color of the skin, I usually choose a slightly darker, slightly more saturated color for the lips, and then I just, there you go. And then I just fill them in. What app? I am working on Procreate. Sorry. I always work on Procreate, so you'll never get a different answer from me. Unless I'm working on my computer, and then I'm working usually on Photoshop. So as you can see, I usually then overdraw on the lips, and I just do like the corner of the mouth, I just do them with a layer put on overlay, and I do them in black. There you go. And then in black, I usually also do like a little sign underneath for the chin. What canvas size and resolution are you doing right now? This is just literally the screen size, like the Procreate native screen size. So but usually when I work on my own stuff, I usually use a 4000 by 4000 pixels canvas in RGB. Oh, there you go. So yeah, this is how I render mouths. Sometimes I will do this, which is create a clipping mask on top of the mouth and change this to multiply this layer, choose like a pinkish color, and just do the top lip. So this just kind of gives like a little bit more prominence to the top lip, and that usually helps. But yeah, I mean, as you can see, it's pretty easy. And again, this is to draw like a mouth from the front, and also to draw like a feminine kind of mouth. So if you wanted to draw something like a little bit more cartoony, a little bit more fun, with expressions that are slightly more exaggerated, you can also like do mouth like this, especially if it's from the side, like, you know, like the very thin mouth from the guy from Ratatouille. You know, like if you wanted to, you could do something like this, you know, where like you have the side of the mouth sort of coming out, and inside, you know, there's the tongue over there, and it's a bit more caricatured as a style, but it still works. Also, when you open your mouth, you can draw, like I don't really draw teeth like one by one because I find it disgusting, I'm sorry, but if you have a character who's, say that like you have a character who's like saying something, so you can't have everything white because, you know, the mouth is open and it's talking. So yeah, exactly, like with a bit of teeth. So like what I do is usually I just draw, like I usually do the teeth like this, kind of like a so like you don't do them like perfectly square, but you kind of like go in a little bit like to the side and then like round them a little bit and you put them back like that. And same underneath, like inside there's the tongue, and then you do like a little bit of, I mean, depending of course on the perspective or where you're watching this tongue, but basically you will also see a little bit of teeth kind of like going back inside the mouth, and then, you know, you can just draw like fill it in with like a darker color to signify the fact that, you know, the teeth are not in, you know, the whole mouth. Like the wall of the mouth are obviously gonna be darker, and yeah, like a lighter color for, much lighter for the tongue. And yeah, and then you can just, you know, fill in. And there you go. This is my mouth that is talking and kind of smiling. It's like, ha! And I mean, if you are into animation, it's really cool that you can look up these expression sheets. If you just Google like expression sheet, animation, cartoon with voiceover or with lip sync, it's called lip sync. Like expression sheets. Lip sync is basically when a character is being dubbed by an actor, and of course the mouth is going to move in different directions according to the letter and word that they're saying, because of course, you know, phonics. So if you Google this, you'll find these expression sheets that show you, you know, how much the mouth is opening, like in terms of height and width. When they say like ah or e or e, which might be interesting. Like if you have a character that is saying something like ooh, of course they're gonna have, you know, like like ooh, like that sound is like this, right? This is a, no, actually this is an oh sound, like a ooh sound is like this, right? It's smaller, even smaller. So yeah, and like e is very large, and ah is like, you know, large but also tall. So yeah, look it up. It's super interesting to have a look. Even if you're not an animator, it might help your illustration. So yeah, I guess that's all about mouths so far. There's more, of course, to go into. And again, I do have a character design course up on my website if you want to check it out. It's basically, you can create like a guest profile on my website and watch the course as many times as you want. It's yours forever, just like on Skillshare, but instead of paying every month like on Skillshare, you can just pay for it once, and you can either download it or watch it on my website. And it's a very big course. It's like it's basically taken from a masterclass that I taught a couple of years ago. Sorry, I'm just gonna turn the... So yeah, as I was saying, it's a very big course that was taken from a masterclass that I taught a couple of years ago, where it was a live masterclass where students actually had me teaching them live over Zoom every week for 8 weeks. So it's 8 weeks for this masterclass on character design. It starts from very basic and it becomes like more and more advanced, and it goes from anatomy, like realistic anatomy and how to draw bodies, up to how to create palettes and render characters in a lineup, and you know, how to make your portfolio. So if you're interested in character design, give that a try. If you go on my website, it's in my links, obviously, and at the moment you can get that course and other 3 of my courses for €50, which is a steal. So I would do it if I were you. Anyway, I will see you guys tomorrow. We are going to be doing something. I think, wait a second. We are going to be doing... Okay, so tomorrow we are going to be doing several different faces. So we're going to put together all these, you know, facial features that we practiced this week. Eyes, nose, mouth, different faces. Thank you. My voice. Anyway, and thank you for being here, and I will see you tomorrow. Roughly, no, I will see you tomorrow like during the day, because tomorrow night I'm leaving, taking a plane. So yeah, I will see you tomorrow and we'll draw some faces. Bye guys.